see. Just trying to get this going. Let's see if we can do that. Big old water jug. Do not be neurotic about your water bottle. Let's see. Maximum effort. Hello. Christine Covey. Hello. Awesome. Jamie Marshall. Hello. Yay. I'm glad that the notification must have worked for some folks. Infinity Carey. Hello. And Kimberly Joyner. Awesome. Glad that y'all are able to be here. I want this thing show. This thing twisted. Maybe that worked. I don't know. Amelia H. and Bruiser Bites. And Made Remotely 99. Is that how you say it? Linda Zilverton. Hello. And Wade Lester, hello. Cecile, awesome. Hey, y'all. Very cool. Folks are being able to join. I'm glad the notification went out. Hello, Sexy Kitten. And I always get this Ogre Girl 23. Is that's what we're saying? I'm trying to say it right, trying to do it right. Maximum effort. How am I doing? I'm doing meh. Could be better, could be worse. So, I guess all things considered, I'm happy to be at a meh. See, I'm getting that question a lot, Linda, about whether or not I would be doing any tarot about Johnny Depp and Amber Heard. I've actually done 2 tarot readings a while back about them. Both videos got demonetized, so I am not too inclined to try to do more videos on that because YouTube keeps taking it down by demonetizing it, and it's not that demonetizing it in and of itself is super bad. It's that if you have that happen repeatedly on your channel over and over again, and they apparently seem to do that to quite a number of my videos that are controversial in nature by YouTube standards. If you do it too much, you could risk losing monetization to your entire channel, which means you would never have any earnings from any of the work that you do, and none of your videos would ever be promoted in an algorithm for anybody to see that you made videos. And so I'm scared to do too many things that could put me at risk for falling into that type of territory. But the 2 videos I did on it in the past, those videos, one of them was before this ever blew up to be a thing, like before this was ever really in the public eye. I did a video about Johnny Depp and Amber Heard's trial before it ever got postponed from COVID, because it was before all that ever even happened. So I did one on that, and then later I did a second one about his trial with The Sun, the UK paper that said some stuff about him that he was not too pleased with. So I do have 2 videos out. Let me write this down on a sticky note. Because that's a question that enough folks have been asking me that it's a good question, and thank you for bringing that up, Linda, thank you. Because if enough people are asking, enough people probably need to hear this little spiel about how I do have 2 videos. They are old, they're not updated, but they're out there. And I do have reasons why I haven't done a third one, an update one, because I'm just trying to not do too many things that could get my shit flagged. So let's see. I'm just gonna write that down, because I might need to do like a community tab post about that, just so folks will know. So handy dandy sticky note. Thank you for that. That's very helpful for jogging my memory on the fact that I probably should explain that to people. So people won't wonder. Good question. Very good question. Ileana Kudo, hello. I missed y'all too. Damn, it's been a little minute here. Rihanna 650, hello. Awesome. Bruiser Bright says, Slingin Tarot, huh? Any certain topic? I have not. I distinctly and purposely did not yet select a topic. I didn't want to kind of pigeonhole my mind into one, so I didn't pick one yet. I was gonna toss around either some potential topic ideas or the idea for some personal mini reads as well. So there's, several things we could do with that. Let's see. All right, I've lost myself in the comments. I'm not sure where I was. Maybe here. Gina XO, hello. So awesome for you to be here. And Amber B, hello. And Corky Coben, hello. Skillo, hello. Glad that y'all could be here. Yay. I will say, too, just about that situation, how I did the one that was about the two of them specifically, and then the other one that was about Johnny Depp and the trial with the son in the UK. The one that I did on the trial with the son, there were a lot of hopeful people out there that he would win that, things would go well. My reading very clearly showed that it wouldn't go as well for him as people hoped. And then I got a lot of people in the comments like, you don't know shit, you faker, whatever, all the names of me being a fake and a phony. And then that's exactly what happened. What I predicted is exactly what happened. It's so... just putting that out there. So to be fair, like I said, the first one I did forever ago, before this even blew up and became a thing, that video, I have no idea really what I said because it was a long time ago. And I imagine that I've probably said some things in there that would make people mad, because I think I remember saying some things that was critical of both of them in that video. And I think that makes people mad because the overall consensus is Amber Heard's a piece of shit, Johnny Depp is very beloved. And I think that I remember that reading that I did showing that both of them have contributed heavily to a really shitty situation, in which case there were some... I don't want to give away the outcome of where I said with that reading, in case there's anybody here that's like, no, wait, I want to go back and watch it, no spoilers. So just in case, I'll zip it. But yeah, like I said, it was a long time ago. People did not know everything that they know now. So people might not be happy with some of the ways I worded things, but I was just a girl reading cards and I said what I saw. And so that's that. Alrighty. Let's see. Great questions though. Great questions. Smiley1177, hello. Emily Vay, hello. Katie Sue 72 from Seattle, awesome. Alexandra 11, hello. Paradise Open, hello. Awesome. Oh yay, your move to Berlin. I remember when you were moving and we were wishing you luck. I'm glad you made it over there. Very cool, very cool. Typos are allowed, Skillo. Typos are allowed. Any misspellings in the comments are just embellishments. Okay? That's how we're going to think of it. Any misspellings in the comments are just embellishments. We're allowed to have embellishments. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Let's see. And yeah, like what Bruiser Brights is saying, that you said you're a Johnny Depp stan for decades, but he ain't perfect, I'm sure. Yeah, like people who watched my first reading on it were like, you're a Johnny Depp hater, or you don't, you don't know what whatever. And I'm like, literally, I've loved him since forever. Like, I'm in my mid-30s, okay? I've known of him longer, way longer than a lot of these itty-bitties, the Gen Zs and stuff walking around. So rest assured, I loved him before you had any sexual attraction to anyone, young ones. I know not all of you are young ones. But, so, no, it ain't about that. I certainly have always liked him, and I certainly never knew anything about her. So it wasn't even a personal thing that I did. I was just reading cards. But yeah. Let's see. Awesome. So but yeah, let me make another note about that too. Okay, so I have notes. Alrighty. So anywho, I've apparently killed Gene XO. I'm sorry. Oh, I'm not even allowed to say the K word. Whoops. Hopefully that doesn't ruin everything I've done. Oh, man. Michelle AK, hello. Any cards pulled on the WHO taking charge of USA/pandemic lockdowns, etc.? I have no idea what that means or is referring to. I'm sure there's something going on in the news about that. In which case, if I end up reading on that, maybe don't tell me what's going on so that I can, read on it without knowing too much, maybe. But 21 Jump Street, 1980s, I'm that on. Dude, Edward Scissorhands. When I was a kid, oh my God, I was in love with him. Oh, man. Let's see. Cecile says, I'm only 3 weeks older than Johnny. Oh, that's cool. 3 weeks older. Quirky Coven. Since I was 13 and saw Nightmare on Elm Street in 84. Awesome. Yeah, so I can, what do we want to do here? What do we want to do? Knowing that there's certain things that I may not feel comfortable with doing, and there's certain things YouTube may not feel comfortable with me doing. But in terms of slinging cards, we can either pick a topic and sling some cards, or we could do some little personal mini reads for anybody that hasn't been around since I did those. Those usually because I don't have, time to do a full read on everybody or a full read on anybody who would want one. Those things kind of take some time, and live streams usually aren't super long. And so with those, usually what I do is I'll say maybe 5 up to 10 people. We could do a short little personal mini read, and where it's basically like a 3-card pull on what your spirit guides most want to bring up to you right now, most want to tell you about or bring to your attention or, just discuss right now. And it's usually just a few minutes kind of per person. And we usually do it so as to keep the queue short enough for a live stream. We usually do it where it's $10 super chats. Do get you into the queue for those little personal mini reads. So we can do that if people want. We haven't done that in a while, so that is something we can do if people want. Or if people prefer to just pick a topic and, I just kind of pull some cards on a specific topic, then we can kind of discuss that option too. So it depends on what folks are more comfortable with. I'm gonna read the comments that are popping up. There's a little bit of a delay. Sometimes you might type something like, my vote is this, and I might not see it for a minute because there's a delay. But I'll take a look here and see what folks are saying here. What's Eating Gilbert Grape? Yes. Wasn't Leonardo DiCaprio in that one? Or am I getting my shit twisted? Because if so, I remember loving him there too. Okay. Bruiser Bites and Corky Coben say mini reads. So does Maximum Effort and Rihanna. Okay. Styling Contrast, hello. I haven't said hello to you yet. Hola. What does it mean that you keep seeing repeating numbers? I made a video on that. So if you go back through my videos, you'll see that there's a thumbnail that's like, what does 1111, 222, whatever, all that mean and stuff. I did a complete video on that, that you might find helpful. So Styling Contrast, go find my video on that. You don't have to find it right now, obviously, whenever you feel like it, but whatever. But I have it there for you for whenever you like. Okay, Alexander Levin says mini read. So does Karen D. Okay, we're getting quite a bit of these. So does Linda. Cecile says sounds good to me. Okay, let's see. Gotcha. The trial, I would, Shannon Curran, but I was speaking about that at the beginning of reasons why I don't think I can, but I do have 2 videos on that already from the past. So it's not that I got nothing on it. It's just not updated. It's from the past, but it does certainly talks about all the stuff going on. Karen D says mini reads. Coffee is my crack. Says mini reads. All right. Missing in Life, hello. And Joycey, hello. Just because I haven't said hello to y'all yet. Okay, so it sounds like we might do a few mini reads, and we can do a few mini reads now. And if people want to, pause that and shift and do something, a little bit after, we can pause and shift. We're allowed to create our own rules here, We're allowed to create our own rules here. So we can do that. Evie Mendez, hello. Valley Girl, hello. Oh, Maximum Effort's already starting. Okay, hold on. Let me see if I can get my cards up, first of all. Second of all, okay, just to show y'all, this is what my banner will look like. I'm just putting it up now where it says waiting list full. This is what it'll look like, and it will be saying waiting list full. It'll say no more readings and stuff like that, and it's all pointing over pointing over there. Everything's backwards, where it says after waiting list full, new super chats considered just a tip. YouTube doesn't refund tips. So I'm just throwing that out there that I'll open the queue for a certain number of super chats here for the personal mini reads, but I just want people to know that once I put that banner up right there, then it's pointing to say that after the waiting list is full, then all new super chats that come through are considered just a tip, and YouTube doesn't refund tips. So I'm just saying that because I don't want anybody, to get upset or whatever. I want to be very clear about that from the start. when we put that banner up, but I'm going to move this microphone right chair, so I can scoot on over here and get into frame. Before we get into anything, let me just see if I can get the lighting right on my card. So I'm just going to be, pulling 3 here. Oh, the lighting actually isn't bad once you pull some. All right, never mind. We're good. We're good on the lighting. I just have to do a test and make sure because I want people to be able to see their cards. Okay, so just in the essence of time today to make sure that we can get to a few people for personal mini reads, but maybe still have some time after for chatting, or if there's any other types of topics that we want to sling cards or things like that. I want to, have some time at the end of this to do a little bit more. And so let's say about 5 people or so that maybe we can put in the queue. So if you'd like a little short 3-card thing that's like, this is what your spirit guides want you to know right now, just in general, this is what they're wanting to bring up to you right now, then you can send your little super chat through and you'll be in the queue. That'll help me see that you're in the queue. And after we get a certain number of people, like I said, around 5 or so in the queue, then I'll cut the queue off just to make sure we've got time for folks. So we've got 3 in the queue right now that I'm seeing on my screen. And again, got 4 in the queue. Okay, cool. So if we'll keep it open for just a little bit more to have like another person or 2 join, and then I'll cut the queue off. Just because I like to be fair to folks, like to be fair. Okay, I see 5 come through. I'm going to click this banner, but if any pops up in that last little second because somebody had just pressed enter, I'm not going to, fuck them over with that. So if any scraggler comes in in the last minute or 2, okay, see, I knew that sometimes happens because like I said, there's a delay in the chat, and that's okay. It's okay if we're in the delay in the chat, but I wanted to put the little list thing up that the waiting list is full. That way, anybody else that hasn't put one in, don't put one in unless you're just wanting it to be a tip. So, I want to be clear because YouTube doesn't refund tips. I have no way to refund that for folks. And so I don't want anybody upset, about that. I really try to be fair. I very much try to be fair. Okay. Alrighty. Thank y'all for helping with that. I know it's a little bit chaotic feeling, but I just really do that to try to be fair. That's important to me. So let me read a couple of these things up here, and we're going to get started on those. Was there anybody that I needed to say hi to that I didn't get a chance to say hi to? Diana Elisa, hello to you. I didn't get to say hello to you, and thank you so people were like, we're already at 5, we're 5. So thank y'all. Man, y'all are so helpful. Rachel B, hello. Awesome. And Stacy Lee 143, hello to you too. So I just wanted to be able to say hello to folks. Just wanted to say hello. Okay, let me scroll up so that I can see where my list is here. Okay. Alrighty, let's see. Okay, and again, as I'm doing this, do remember that if you missed the queue today, here it's okay, because on my website you can always book a private reading at any time with me on my website. So if you missed the queue today, you can always book a private reading on my website, and there is an offering on my website for short 15-minute readings for I believe it's $29 for short 15-minute readings. So starting at a low amount, and we cram as much as we can cram in 15 minutes for people that feel like that's what they got to do and what they need. Totally understand. And certainly I have options for longer readings if people want a 30-minute reading or a 45-minute reading. I've got options for that too on my website. So that's always there for folks if anybody wants that, but just throwing that out there. I like people to know what's out there. But maximum effort. I see you as number 1 in the queue here. So going to do this here. Ooh, we had a flyer before I even got started. All right, well, I'm going to flip this one over, but this is the message that your spirit guides most need you to know right now, most want you to know right now. All right, so spirit guides, apparently you already are ready for this. I don't even have to ask. What was this? Let's say this was I'm just guessing, a Wands card or something regal. A Wands card or something regal. We got a Queen of Wands. There we go. That's hilarious. Okay, so anywho, let's do this. So maximum effort here for you. Your message your spirit guides most want you to know right now, what they most want to discuss with you right now. When we get the Queen of Wands card, she is in the upright position right now. So to me, especially since they're following up here with this Five of Pentacles right next to it, this feels very career-ish to me. And it feels like there's something related to career, maximum effort, that you might feel, how do I put this? Either like insecure about, or feel kind of like, I don't know, or this bothers me, or, you know, something that feels less than ideal related to career at this time that they're trying to bring up here. And what it looks like they're saying is you might feel like you're kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place a little bit here. This is kind of a little damned if we do, damned if we don't. Kind of feels like we're hitting a bit of a wall in some type of degree, some type of barrier with career. But the thing that they're wanting here for you to know, with this in the upright position, that's good. With this in the reverse position, that's actually pretty good with this card, okay? Because, you know, some cards, we might prefer to see them in the reverse rather than upright. Usually I prefer to see this one in the reverse rather than upright. So with whatever it is that's going on that's making you feel a little bit bummed out or taking the wind out of your sails related to career right now, they're wanting to try to kind of help with that. They're wanting to try to be like, hey, all is not lost. It's not necessarily a throw in the towel, woe is me kind of thing. And not saying you're saying woe is me, but just saying that they're saying we don't need that kind of thing. That this is actually quite positive. There's some kind of second wind that you can have. It may look different from the first wind that you had in career. It may be a different type of career life ahead of you, but it means that there's still something there, because there could be some feeling of like career, you know, had some kind of a way where I delivered my purpose through career, like I was really able to, you know, put my purpose in life through my career, and I feel like that's been jilted some type of way, and they're being like, no, we can still fulfill purpose, we can still deliver that and bring that to the world in some kind of a way. There's just something that's different here, but it doesn't mean that it's gone. Different doesn't mean gone. They're giving me that whole, like, you know, how they say energy can never be created nor destroyed. You know, it just changes form. And they're kind of giving me that for this. They're like, what you had is just changing form. You're still able to execute your purpose in a very effective way in this life. They're still going to be trying to find ways to slate those opportunities for you. It's just going to be different. So that's the quick and dirty 3-card draw of what it seems like they most want you to know right now, maximum effort. So it's positive. This is positive. Okay? Take this little hopeful drink here. It's like a little hopeful sip. Thank you for letting me read for you. Okay, let's see. Next one I have here, missing in life, I have here for you. Okay. I have here for you, missing in life. Let me shuffle up here for you. Okay, so what do your guides most want you to know right now, most want you to hear right now, most feel like you need right now? Let's see here. As I was shuffling, that one flipped over in the middle. Did we not just have that one? I shuffled several times. Y'all saw it. Y'all heard it. It was happening. But people who've watched these mini reads here on my channel before can attest to the fact that sometimes we will have repeat cards no matter how many times I shuffle, because sometimes there's trends that happen in the group. You know, we just somehow kind of convene together, and we don't even realize that there might be stuff in other people's messages that can fit for us some kind of a way, or that we're all in some kind of a way cut from the same cloth at the same time, that it's no coincidence that we happen to all be available right now, right here together. And so sometimes those things will come up that really kind of show that, and I think that that's actually pretty cool. So we'll notice that. And so, yeah, for anybody that isn't getting read, there might be some things that we say in these cards that even if it's angled at somebody else, there might be something that in your spirit intuitively kind of hits or clicks with you. Take that as a sign from your guides that they're kind of giving you a mini read emotionally, vicariously through someone else's. That's very entirely possible, happens all the time. So don't close yourself off to that. Alrighty, but missing in life. Yours right here. Okay, so what I'm seeing for you, this is actually pretty positive as well. So they're saying that there's something going on in your life, and it feels like whatever this thing is, it's fairly emotional to you, and there's a sense of, I'll say, stuckness around it. I don't want to say you necessarily like feel trapped or, it's something bad, but there's a sense of stuckness. Like, well, this is where it is and this is where it is. And I don't know if it's going to go beyond that. And I don't know how it would, but there's a bit of a kind of now what with that. And that would emotionally take a little bit of a toll on you, whatever that thing is. Now, what they're trying to tell you relative to that, and if you don't know right off the top of your head what that is, it's okay. They will present to you what that is soon enough. You will see it and you'll be, that's what they were talking about, if you don't know right now. So don't worry if you don't know right now, but you might already. Relative to that they're talking about here, they're saying that you actually are quite an intuitive person. So I don't know if you realize that about yourself, missing in life, but you're actually quite an intuitive person. You may know that, or you may deny that to yourself and be like, nah, other people are intuitive, but not me. I can't be, or something along those lines. But they're like, no, truly, you are. You pick up on signs, you pick up on cues, you know things when, there's no reason to know those things, and you can trust yourself more on that. And so they're showing this Six of Wands as we're getting back up on our horse, and we're going to get that confidence, and we're going to ride in with that confidence. And so they're saying you're not as maybe stuck on whatever that issue is as you may feel like you are. You are a very intuitive person. There are workarounds to things. They're giving you signs, and you can ask for signs. You can say, hey, give me some song lyrics on the radio that I need to hear, or show me a billboard I need to see, or give me a certain string of repeating numbers I need to know about. Or, you can ask them. You can ask your guides to give you signs in ways that you feel like you'll better understand. And they're going to be giving some signs to assist you around this, and I see the outcome of this as being really, really good. I see them as really trying to increase your awareness of your intuition and your confidence around your ability to navigate it and to get back up on that horse and to steer yourself in the direction that you want. They don't want you to feel like your hands are tied. They don't want you to feel powerless. They don't want you to feel like you don't have what it takes. Any of those things that our mean minds sometimes can tell us and make us think about ourselves, but it's not actually true. We just convince ourselves because our mind's an asshole. Like they're trying to be like, don't listen to that. Don't even listen to that. Listen to us. And I tell people this sometimes in case it's helpful, in case you might be like me and have a little bit of anxiety from time to time, or like me, a lot of bit of anxiety from time to time. In case that fits you. You might be like, yeah, well, at any time I've got kind of two different quote unquote voices. Which one do I listen to? And the way that I kind of parse through it is anything from your spirit guides will be either something exciting, or it'll be like, oh, I'm interested in looking into something, or this intrigues me, or this thought just popped into my head very matter-of-factly. It doesn't feel bad. It just matter-of-factly popped into my head. Those kinds of things are the ways that your guides will present things to you. If something's feeling rushed or pressured, or if you don't do this, then this, scary, intimidating, any of those things, that's not messaging from your guides. That's from the mean mind trying to convince you otherwise. And so at all times, you're going to hear one that's a little bit more confident, a little bit more matter of fact, a little bit more curious or interested or driven. And then the other one is going to be more pressured or critical or fear-based or whatever. You know which one to tune out and which one to tune into. And so this is looking positive for you. This is looking positive for you, missing in life. Just gotta say. Alrighty, let's see. Let me go on to the next little mini read. Thank you for letting me do your mini read, missing in life. Thank you. And so thank you, guides. Let's move on to the next one, just so we can make sure we can fit folks in here. I want to make sure we can fit folks in. Alrighty, so no, wait, Karen D comes first here. I'm getting confused on my screen. I've got you, Karen D. Karen D comes first. We're going to do this. Okay, so here we go. All right, Karen D. Spirit guides, what do you most want Karen D to know right now? What do you most want to bring up to Karen D right now? Okay. We had, wow, we had both of these fall out. Let's see. Alrighty, so, wow, they literally jumped out of the deck. So, I don't know what you got going on, Karen, but your guides are kind of jumpy. Your guides are a little bit loud. Do you feel like you have either kind of a jumpy or like loud or vivacious energy about yourself, or something about yourself that's kind of out there or bigger than life, or whatever? If there's something about your energy that's like that, your guides are like that. So I don't know if they've matched your guides to you, or if they're giving you guides because they're like, hey, you could use a little of that energy more in your life. But just letting you know, that's how your guides are. They're just all like, and I'm like, okay, try to keep up. So Karen D, your guides, what they most want you to know right now, they're showing that there's something going on in your life where it feels, I'm going to put it this way, it may not be as negative as what I'm saying. So change the words to words that you feel like you need for it to be more fitting and appropriate to you. But it feels like there's some sense of somebody in your life who has either already kind of dropped the ball, or is currently or about to drop the ball in something. And it makes me feel like you already kind of would have an idea as to who or what this is. So I don't know if this is someone at home, or a family member, or at work, or wherever, where it's somebody that you're like, I really can't depend on you, or I really need you to do this, that, or the other, but instead it feels like things fall back on me. And so it feels like you're one of those people that have to, that sadly have to kind of, if you want something done and you want it done right and on time and whatever, you got to do it yourself, like that kind of have to be self-reliant type of thing. It just feels like people let you down. And that makes me sad that happens. I can empathize with that feeling. I bet a lot of people here can. And I'm seeing that kind of playing out here in your life. And they're saying that in a way that it's kind of like they're saying that I see you, I feel you. It feels like they're just trying to give you validation right now, because it feels like sometimes you might feel like you're kind of, again, one person show, or all alone, or overburdened, or like, damn, does nobody see how I struggle with kind of juggling all the balls in the air by myself? I've got a lot on my plate. Does nobody see that? Can nobody appreciate what that means and what that feels like? And it looks like they're saying what you most need right now is an emotional release relative to that. That they're trying to help you feel seen and acknowledged and appreciated. And they're being like, we see that, we know that, we appreciate that, and we're trying to help you with that. And they give you that Chariot card as the last card here, which is actually a really good card. This card is like a driving force. This is something that just pushes forward. This is resiliency. This is getting shit done. This is someone, who's responsible and makes things happen. And it's kind of like, again, here's cliche adage, but you know how they say, God only gives you what you can handle, or, whatever the phrase is. I say a lot of phrases without knowing exactly how the phrase goes. And so I'm just kind of throwing shit out there, guessing a lot. But you know that kind of phrase. I know it sounds annoying to hear because you're like, well, I don't want to have to be the one to do that. Can't somebody else out there be the strong one that can handle a lot so I don't have to? So totally get that. But they're really trying to show you how much they believe in your competency and your effectiveness, and your abilities here, because they're showing, like, literally that's why some of these things are on your plate, because you are good at it. You may not feel like you're good at it. You probably don't always feel like you're good at things, but they're like, yeah, you are, because you get it done, don't you? Yeah. And so they're trying to kind of give you that pat on the back that you need to help you feel acknowledged and supported and appreciated. But then they're also trying to say, this is why we're giving you things and we're helping you push forward. And as we're giving you these things, we are supporting you, and we're still pushing forward though, because there's a lot to get done. So apparently you just have a lot of tasks to do because you're just a good achiever and you get things done, and it's just a very important role in your life and the life of those around you, because it feels like there are people that probably depend on you and what you're able to do. And so they're like, this is a part of your purpose, is being able to do this and provide this and be this for people. It's a part of your purpose. And so it's probably something that you've kind of always done, and it's something that I see you'll continue to do. It doesn't mean they want you to struggle. That doesn't mean they want you to do things all on your own. And it doesn't mean they want you to be disappointed by people who drop the ball, because sure, please reach out for help in whatever ways you can. Please try to leverage assistance from other people and support from other people to help you in your goals. Absolutely. But they're just trying to give you that little extra squeezing that you might need right now as you're working on it. So that's what they most wanted to say to you right now, Karen. That's what you most needed to hear, apparently, in their opinion. And thank you for letting me read for you here. So thank you. Alrighty, let's see. Next up here, we've got Rihanna 650 up here. Alrighty, so let's see. In terms of what your spirit guides need you to know. Alrighty, spirit guides, what is it that you'd like to say to Rihanna 650? What do you most want to share right now? Okay, we've got one that kind of flipped over at the head of these, so I'm going to take that one and keep pulling these. All right. Ooh, Rihanna. Goodness. Rihanna, you're in a, I'm sorry for whatever you're going through right now, because this does not look easy. Anytime you get the death card up in here, that doesn't look easy. That doesn't look easy. Now, I will also say, don't be afraid of this death card, okay? This is not saying that you're about to pass on or something, no. So, no worries on that. No worries on that. I wouldn't take that literally for you or whatever right now, but I do see you're going through some stuff. When I do get that death card, that is a very big transition card. Because as we know, again, with energy not being created or destroyed, like we said earlier in someone else's reading, that things just transition, things just change. And so they're saying that you are in a transitional period in your life some kind of way, whether it's physically, emotionally, psychologically, spiritually, mentally, whatever way it is, in your career, in your family, I don't know. And you might be going through multiple transitions right now. It might be more than one, but I see them saying that you are in a transition period right now in your life, Rihanna, and that is one of those things that they see as a good thing. They see it as a good thing. This is in the upright. We want this to be in the upright. We want this to be in the upright, because if it was in the reverse, I'd say, hey, you are dragging your heels and you're making this process longer and harder than it has to be. But they're not saying that. They're not saying that. They're saying that you're at that point where you're just kind of like, I guess I gotta, freaking throw my hands in the air and just like, go along for the ride, because I'm just being drug underneath the undertow in the ocean, and like, what the hell, and so in a way, even if that is a horrible feeling to have to feel, there is some sense of surrender in that, which is actually a positive thing right now. Because that means instead of being like a salmon where you're sitting here trying to paddle upstream against the current, that you're kind of like, you know what, fuck it. And you just kind of let go and let the current sweep you away. And that's actually easier and better right now. And I don't say that as in a give up type thing. I don't mean give up. I just mean a kind of going with whatever flow that life is taking you on, whatever the journey is, not fighting the journey. And when you're in a transition period, it's uncomfortable as hell, because it means things aren't making sense, or things are feeling difficult, or things are, kind of all over the place. It feels like one wave after another smacking us in the face before we have a chance to come up for air. So it's certainly not a comfortable process, and they totally get that. But what they're saying is it's a worthwhile process, because you will come out the other side of this. You will come out the other side of this, and it looks like that will be something that they consider a good thing. That will be like a stage up, a step up, anteing up some sort of way. And so from this, what I'm seeing, this is kind of a like home, family, career type of all-in-one card. That's why it makes me feel like you might be going through multiple transitional things right now, things that could be relative to career and also to home and family. And again, these can be external transitions that we're doing in our physical life, or these can be internal transitions, things that we're thinking, feeling, going through inside. And I just feel like you're kind of in the middle of a cacophony of things here with that, relative to that. And with this star card in reverse, this is a have faith kind of position to see this card, because in the upright position, it's like, yeah, we're letting the new life unfold. We're starting this new journey. Oh, I'm hitting things because I'm talking with my hands. I can't help it. I talk with my hands. And we're letting things unfold. But if we've got that in the reverse position like you do here, that's kind of when we're like, I am losing faith that I'm on the right path. I'm losing faith that I'm doing the right thing. I'm losing faith that things are going to work out okay for me. Like, I just really need to know shit's going to be okay. And they see that. They see that. But with that card being upright, again, if it was in reverse, I'd tell you that there's something you need to change. But it's in the upright position. So they're like, flow with it. You are on your path. You are on your journey. It is going in that direction. And So you are riding the ride. Just keep riding the ride. Just don't get off the ride early. Because think about it this way. Say you are in an Uber and you have a 4-mile ride to your destination and you decide to get out of your Uber at mile 2. Well, now you're going to have to walk the rest of the way. And think of how hard and how long that'll be. So it's kind of like that Uber ride might be with a really smelly ass driver that stomps on the brakes too hard and makes your car sick. But if we just stay in the car for those extra 2 miles, we're going to get there. We're going to get there, and it'll be a whole lot better than getting out and walking on the side of the road for the other 2 miles. So they're like, stay with the stinky, whiplash Uber driver. Stay with it. Stay with it and keep pushing on. Don't get off the ride early. Don't get off the ride early. Have faith. Have faith. So I'm so sorry for all these things that you must be going through. This feels like a lot. I'm sure your head is spinning. Big hugs to you, Rayana, my lord. This is a this too shall pass type of thing. So if we need to do like that, do like that. Pulling your shoulders out from your ears kind of thing. All right. So that's what we got here for you, Rayana. Thank you for letting me read for you. Alrighty, so let's go to the next person here. April, showers, tumblers, and more. April, was it you that made my tumbler? Was it you? You're probably answering in the comments, and since I don't have my comments scrolled down, I only have my comments right here for me to see who's in the queue. I'm not going to see your answer, but everyone else will see. And if so, April made me a tumbler, and I still use it to this day, and I absolutely love it. And so if you have any kind of online store or presence or anything like that, April, you can feel free to share that in the comments if you want to. But okay, so what your guides most need you to know, April. Let's see here. Oh, is this a twofer? It is a twofer. It is a twofer of swords. Interesante. Triple swords. Damn, April. Damn. Triple swords. Wow. Wow, this is a lot of air energy here. A lot of air energy and swords energy here. Girl, what is going on in your head? What is going on in your head? And I say that with love. I don't say that to tease you or anything like that. I say that with love because we've got 3 swords all in the reverse. You have got a crowded noggin. Honey, you've got a crowded noggin right now. This is like... Okay, when you're on your computer or your laptop and you open a tab and you're looking at this and you open another tab and you're looking at this and before you know it, all the tabs are like this short because there's like 20 of them up there. That's what your brain is like right now from what I'm seeing in the cards. That's what your brain is like. It's like kind of ADHD a bit, and maybe you do have ADHD, which is fine if you do. But what they're showing here is a need to try to kind of focus this. Like, you see this? Watch. Consolidate. That's kind of what I'm seeing them be like. We need to do that. We need to collapse all tabs on your little internet here, April. So this is kind of like if we're going through a lot and we've had kind of one thing after another pile on to us that we're not really able to sort through before another thing opens, we can end up with too much juggling things here. And that's where it seems like they're saying we are. So what they're wanting us to do here is to consolidate. Easier said than done. I get it. Easier said than done. I don't think that they're saying that this is going to be a simple thing, but they're saying that this is a worth it thing. So when we're getting control of these reverse swords here, this is like a trying to meditate type of thing. Now, what we need to say about trying to meditate is a lot of people will think they're doing it wrong or they suck at it because they can't get their mind to be quiet. Oh, I can't meditate because I can't blank my mind out. Guess what? You and 99.9% of everybody on the planet along with you. Most people cannot blank their mind out. It is a true feat to be able to do that. I think monks in the mountains spend their lifetimes learning how to do that. So it is okay if you can't. It is totally okay. What meditation is training your mind to do is to notice when you're having all these thoughts and just to try to keep centering it back. So if you're like, okay, I'm going to get calm. I'm going to get calm. Did I leave the stove on? Oh, I noticed. I just had that thought. It's okay. Let's bring it back to my breath. All right, I'm focusing on my breath. Very good, very good. I'm focusing on my breath. And I think I heard a dog bark. It's okay. Focusing back on my breath. And you just do that over and over. You're focusing on your breath, or you're focusing on certain sounds, or you're focusing on something, whatever it is that you choose to focus on, and you're focusing on that. And when a thought comes up, you're like, okay, I noticed you, send you away, back to the thing I was focusing on. And you do that repeatedly when you meditate. And you can set a timer on your phone to do like 5 minutes one day, 10 minutes on another day, or whatever. You know, you just give yourself a set time. It does not have to be long, but the closer you can get to 20 minutes at a time would be better. If you can make that time, if you can make 20 minutes at a time. But if you can't for now, it's okay. Set an alarm for a shorter period of time and just practice going back to whatever that point of focus is from the thoughts. And what meditation will do is you're training that muscle to focus on one thing and only one thing at a time. You're training that muscle. So over time, you will notice, wow, there were more seconds between each thought. It used to be I'd have a thought every second. Now it's I have a thought every 3 or 4 seconds. And later on, wow, I got maybe 20 seconds before a thought came in and interrupted me. It's just like working out. When you go to the gym, you're a weak ass little bitch when you're pushing, not you, like people in general, the plural, universal you, not you specifically, April. But people are weak ass little bitches when they're pushing up the bar for the first time, but they're training that muscle. So next time, maybe they can do it a little bit better or do more reps of that same weight. Maybe next time they can move the weight up 5 pounds and do, it's training it over time. And it takes a while to do that. Same with your brain, with the meditation, you're training it over time. And it's going to take a while to do that. And all you're trying to do is increase the gaps in between thoughts. The gaps in between your thoughts. And the more you learn to do that, the more you're getting control over the space in between, the less of this kind of wild, scattered stuff is happening, the less that this is happening. And so that's what they're kind of getting at here and what they're trying to help with. And then you'll notice the tabs issue, your little internet tabs in your mind issue won't be quite as big of an issue. You might not feel quite as scattered or quite as overwhelmed. The space in between will be easier and easier to access, even in times that you're not meditating, because you've trained that muscle through meditation. So when you're working at the gym, working your muscles, yeah, you're working your muscles at the gym, but it doesn't mean now your strength is gone when you leave the gym. No, you can use that strength you gained at the gym to carry more groceries on your arm at one time because you don't want to take 2 trips to the car. I know. Or you can, do whatever other things with those same muscles that you worked on at the gym. Same with meditation. You're building that muscle during meditation, but you get to use those benefits anytime outside of meditation. You get to use that anytime. And it looks like they're like, hey, we really need to, make this a priority. Sure, it's hard to set aside time and make a priority, but we might set aside time during the day to take a little bit longer for lunch or to take a little bit longer to watch a program on TV that we wanted to watch. So, or take a little bit longer to have an extra long shower or something like that. So they're like, if we can carve out time for those because we want to, then technically we could carve out time for this if it's what we wanted to. And so they're looks like they're hoping you might prioritize a journey around this to kind of help you, because it seems like a chore, but they're like, wouldn't the relief feel worth it? wouldn't the relief be like, thank God, you know? And so that's where they're getting at here for you, April. Thank you for letting me read on you. Awesome. Okay, so last one in our lineup here, we have Blake Tisdale. So Blake, I'm coming at you here. Last one in the queue. All righty. So, Spirit Guides, what do you want Blake to know? What do you want to tell Blake? Oh, we're getting a Chariot card again like we got earlier. Okay. Alrighty, Blake. This has some mixed vibes around it. When they're giving me these two things here, this is kind of a bit of an imposter syndrome card when our mind tells us all the things that we can't do. So it seems like there might be a bit of a, what I'll call here, and this may not be the best word, but a bit of an imbalance in your mind between the thoughts that say you can and the thoughts that say you can't. They're thinking, in their point of view, they're thinking that the thoughts that are like, this isn't going to happen, I can't make this happen, what am I going to be able to do, you know, I can't make this, you know, all those kind of a bit defeatist type of thoughts that are really difficult to deal with. It seems like they're showing here that you might kind of have more of those than they would hope for you to have, in contrast to the other thoughts that feel a bit more empowering. And so they're putting that here. They're showing that the trouble with this is that it causes this, our reverse Empress. It causes us to feel destabilized. This is a very destabilizing card. It feels like we're not growing our roots in. We're not feeling anchored and stable and set and reinforced. You know, it feels much more like I'm at the whim of whichever way the wind blows and I can't do anything about it. And that's so much more like someone in the passenger seat of a car than someone that gets to be behind the wheel. And so they're saying that part of our physical circumstances feeling a bit less stable than we'd like has some sort of tie to this kind of imbalance of thoughts. And the way that they're kind of putting this is the things that we tend to think about, we tend to bring about. And it's another one of those damn cliches. I know I'm throwing out a lot of those, but you know, whatever comes to my mind, I say, you know, I just say what I see. And so it's kind of like if we, you know, feel like things aren't working out, then we might notice that something happens that validates, yeah, things aren't working out. Here's more reasons why things aren't working out. And it just kind of grows on itself. And it's like, this snowballed out of control. Whereas if we start to think of things that are more like, okay, well, here's the things that I do have control over. And these are the things that I can make happen. And these are the ways things have actually been improving from before. Or these are the ways that I feel like I am a more complete person or something than I was maybe a year ago, or, you know, whatever it is, whatever we can do to kind of compare ourselves to ourself, you know, ourself now to ourself or our situation before, to kind of gain some confidence, gain some perspective, whatever we can do to see what it is we are in control over, what it is that we do have the ability to influence or change or whatever, kind of finding those things and really putting a lot of attention and focus onto those things so that those things can be the ones to snowball and multiply. It looks like they're really wanting us to kind of go in that direction a little bit more so we can start tilting the scales, because people make different decisions based on feeling states. You know, we know that about ourselves. We know in times that we feel really, you know, maybe depressed or shitty about things, then we feel more tired. We don't have the energy to even want to start a task because we already feel beat down, run down, and it's too overwhelming to even get out there and do it. So then, of course, things don't happen, and then that reinforces the depressed type of feelings and the powerlessness. Whereas when there's somebody that's like, man, I'm gonna go get it. I'm so fucking determined, man. I'm ambitious. I'm gonna do this. I know I can influence this. I know I can control for that. I know I can make this better. I have an idea around this. And so they're feeling a bit better, so they're doing more things and trying more things and taking a stab at it and stuff like that, and that gets them in that place of action, and that energy kind of snowballs in on itself, and then it breeds more of its same energy, and it reinforces that attitude that they had. And I'm not saying, like, if there are, clinically diagnosed things going on, like clinical depression or clinical anxiety or things like that, I'm not saying that we can just wish that away, think that away, or will that away. I'm not, trying to invalidate that experience, and I don't think the guides are either. But even for folks who have those clinical labels, there's still some wiggle room within this. There's still some power that we have within this. We don't have to give all our power away to our mental illnesses or mental struggles or mental challenges. I am diagnosed with trichotillomania, pulling out my hair. I'm also diagnosed with OCD, which is kind of an umbrella over the whole pulling out my hair and stuff like that. They kind of go together. Also diagnosed with anxiety, which again goes together under the umbrella of those things, kind of together. I also at one point in my life was diagnosed with depression, and so I empathize, and am not trivializing that experience. And I don't even know if you have any of those things, Blake. I'm not even saying that you do, because I don't know. But it's coming up for me, so I'm speaking on it. But what I am saying, that even with those labels that I have on myself, I don't want to give power to those labels to where they rule everything and I can't do things because of XYZ. I want to find the pockets of places that I can, find the pockets of places where I can push through, find the pockets of resilience that I can lean into. And they're really kind of showing that here for you. And that's why they're giving us the Chariot card upright, because this is that forward movement. And on this Chariot card, if you notice, Blake, these two sphinxes are the ones that drive the chariot. They're like horses, out front. These are what drive the chariot, but you don't see any reins, do you? There's no physical reins here. And why is that? Because this man drives his chariot by virtue of his mind. He tells them when to go and when to stop. He uses his mind to control those sphinxes' actions to do whatever he wants. So he trains his mind to have control over these things and make them go in the way that he wants. Easier said than done, but it kind of goes back to the training that we were talking about a second ago when we were talking to April about training her mind in meditation. And so there's some sort of wiggle room, leeway, growth, expansion, improvement, something that can happen in your physical life tangibly just by virtue of getting this internal stuff to tweak a bit. Because again, if we're not feeling good internally, we don't have the energy or the power or whatever to really do things in our physical life. And so we make different decisions when we feel shitty than we do when we're feeling great. When we're feeling great, we make way different decisions tangibly in our life than we do when we're feeling shitty. So they're like, hey, if we can get to a place where we're feeling a bit better internally, then that is going to help us to have the energy and the drive and all of this to make different decisions. And these different decisions will start to alter our physical, tangible life and start to get us more in that direction that we're wanting to get in, more in that direction that we're wanting to go in. Just by virtue of fixing that stuff underneath, that's going to be the impetus that we need to help us get in that direction physically. I hope that makes sense. It's hard to kind of describe. It's a little bit abstract, but they're really, really rooting for you here, and they're really, really wanting to help you here. And they gave you that Chariot in the upright, which shows how much confidence they have in you to be this person, to channel your inner chariot driver with that level of mind power. They wouldn't have given it to you upright if they didn't think of it that way. So that's more positive than what you might worry it would be. So thank you for letting me do your reading there too, Blake. Thank you. Alrighty, y'all. So that was all our mini reads. And again, like I said, for anybody that feels like they missed out or they need a longer reading or whatever, on my website, BeasTalksAndTarot.com, you can schedule a reading anytime. It doesn't matter if you're in the States or if you're in another country. It asks you for time zones, so you can, work around that. It works. So let me put this up now. And I'm going to move this microphone right here, right back. Because I'm probably got plenty of comments that I might need to catch up on. I've been live for an hour and 10 minutes, y'all. Wow. Well, let's just see what kind of comments we can. And see, that's why I limit the queue to, roughly around 5 people-ish. Because that's how much time can go by just in doing mini readings for just 5 or 6 people. It can suck up some time. So, alrighty. Aw, thank you, Rihanna, for the other super chat. Thank you for that. That was kind. Let's see. Aw, no worries. I see your comment there. No worries. Dawn Marie, hello. Didn't get to say hello to you yet. Or Jessica Hamilton, hello. You're joining. You were in the grocery store. Man, I need to go to the grocery store. Thank you, Gene XO, for helping. You're like, Bees on the first 6 mini readings. Happy shopping. And you put a little buggy. You put a grocery buggy there. Oh, wait. Shopping cart. Excuse my southern ass. Shopping cart. You put a grocery buggy there. Grocery buggy. That's how it's said, okay? I won't hear anything different from anyone. Fuck all other opinions. Christophin, always hello. The Salazar, hello. Awesome. Let's see, maximum effort said, for your mini reading, you said, on the nose, facing medical retirement due to my rare disease. I'm an RN, and that's half of my soul, and I'm destroyed by this. It's killing me faster than my disease. Big hugs to you, maximum effort. I am so sorry. Good Lord, have mercy. They were very positive about this. Doesn't mean the purpose is over. The purpose is just transformed. It's not over. It's just changing. And so there's still some way you feel you will be able to get that purpose out there. It might take some creative thinking. It might take some, trying several things, like throwing spaghetti noodles at a wall to find out which one sticks. But there's something there. It's not over. See. Colette McClafferty, hello. Did not get to say hello to you yet. You said the first reading totally resonated with me. I just happened to log in 2 seconds before. Synchronicity, Colette. Synchronicity. There we go. See, wow. Missing in Life said 100% about your reading. Gotcha. I'm glad that they were able to help. Very glad they were able to help. The chat skipped. Let me find where I was. Shit. Where was I in the chat? Shit. Hold on. Let me go back. I gotta find my place. I'm sorry. Okay. Natcat 180. Hello. Gene XO, you are like doing the mostest over here with the currently reading this. Next up, Karen, then Rihanna, then separated by little stars? How fancy are you? Do you have mod experience? Because it looks like you have experience being a mod on people's channels. That's what that seems like to me. You didn't have to do all that. I mean, that's just very kind and gracious of you to volunteer your time to do that, because you don't have to do that. That was very kind. Emily Volduck, hello. Some of these people might already be gone. I know I'm saying hello so much later than people actually typed. I'm just trying to go back and be able to read comments and say hey to people. And Blake had picked out when the time was 4:44 on the clock, wherever you're located, Blake. And Gene XO did too. That's cool. That's cool. Love that. KGB, hello. Yeah, JN, hello. See, yep, you said Mom said these readings might resonate with us even if it's not for us. You know how it happens sometimes, my NFJ. You know how it happens. Rosie's Fab Finds, hello. Of course you join and comment right after JN. It's as if y'all are together or something, related or something. I love it. All of y'all here are my soul family. Love it. Yes, I'm happy for the people that were able to get readings today too. Very thankful that I was able to read. LZFan99, hello. Didn't get to say hello to you yet. Let's see. And Emily said, Karen, I feel like I needed to hear that too. So yeah, there's a lot of times people, some people be like, this is just mini readings and I'm not in the queue. Fuck that, I'll get out. And it's like, that's perfectly fine. But people are missing out sometimes when they do that, because sometimes there's some nuggets here that the guides are trying to give us twofers and threefers, trying to kind of give us kind of double for things like, oh, well, I'm going to do a reading for this person, but this is also going to apply to this person and this person. So, here's a threefer and we can kind of kill three birds with one stone. Horrible saying, but you get what I mean. So it can actually be very positive for folks if they're willing to kind of hang in there. Aw, Karen, thank you. Yes, been struggling with my family and not feeling important at all. Well, I'm so glad that they were able to speak to that for you and with you and about you, because they don't want you to feel that. That's a lot. Thank you, Blake, for the little super chat. I hope that the mini update and things were helpful. I hope that was something that you could use from your guides. That seems to be where they really wanted to focus today. Let's see. Billy, hello. You didn't get notified yet again. Damn it, YouTube. Damn it all to hell. Nolan Hernandez, hello. Finally caught you live and hope all's well. Thank you. Man. Terry Moore, hello. And hope your son is doing okay. Sweet Harmony, hey. Let's see. I'm just skimming through the comments, trying to catch on up. April Showers, Tumblers, and More says same name on Facebook. All right, y'all. Let's see. Bruiser Bites, I want to be like B when you grow up. You probably don't. First of all, don't grow up, Bruiser Bites. Second of all, please do not aspire to such. Never know how to meditate, can't shut my mind off. Hopefully my description was helpful with that. Hopefully my description helped with that, because, Let's see. Aw, thank you, Rosie's Fab Finds, for the super chat. That's very sweet of you. Thank you. April's like, internet tab, spot on. There's a lot. Setting the time aside. Gotcha. I hear you. I feel you. I see you. David MCG, hello. Hope you're perking good too. It's okay. If anybody missed most of the stream and wants to see what they missed, usually these streams get to go back up, afterwards. Usually they get saved and, people can watch the stream back if they'd like to. So knock on wood, I haven't had YouTube take one of my streams down yet, and hopefully they won't. So for anybody that wanted to catch the beginning, hopefully that will be something that you can do later, if you still like. Oceana Song, hello. Awesome. Joanne Stoddard, hello. Let's see. Sugar Sean, hello. YouTube didn't notify you either? What the hell? Dropping the ball. It's like, especially when there's Perk Squad members, like, they're channel members. How do you not notify them? Like, I really wish that there was something I could do about that. I'm one of those people, I get a little bit controlling. I'm OCD, so I get to where I'm like, I've got to have order and I gotta, do these things. And so I like it when I get to have the control over making sure, because I can go in and I can fix stuff myself then. So when things are out of my control and it's like YouTube does that, sorry, then I'm like, well, fuck. That strips me away from what I'm able to do to help y'all, because that's fucked up. And I'm sorry that y'all don't get notified, because, I mean, come on. What in the hell's freaking YouTube? All right, let's see. First of all, let me take another sip of my gigantic water bottle here. Let me not laugh because I'll choke. Fuck. I just caught a glimpse of my face, and somebody told me every time you swallow when you drink water, you always look like what you're tasting is nasty. And then my husband told me the same thing before. He's like, I like watching your face when you drink. You always look pissed, or like what you're drinking is gross. And I'm like, people say that. I don't know. So I don't know why. It's just my face. I apologize for my face. Sorry. It's just my face. I don't know what to tell you. Oh, man. Okay, let's see. Stacy Lee 143, could you do a collective 1-card pull if you're feeling up to it? Okay, so collectively, what is the 1 card that we most need to know right now collectively, all of us here on the live stream? Let me pull up all of us here on the live stream, what is the 1 card that we most need to know right now? And please help me know intuitively why we got that 1 card. Explain it to us. Thank you, spirit guides. Boom. Knight of Cups. This is a good one. This is a good one. It's in the upright position. This means that all of us right now are having something on an emotional level that feels like it needs a little gentle hug. So every last one of us on some level, the guides are like, you're feeling a little bit rough around the edges, and you could do with one of those warm, nice, healing embraces right now. You could do for a warm cup of whatever nice warm drink that you like. I remember back a couple years ago when I went to Orlando and did that Harry Potter World at Universal Studios, and they were serving the butterbeer, and they had it in heated mugs, and it was like January, so it was colder than a motherfuck, to me, in my opinion. And they gave us the hot butterbeer in the mug, and as I drank that, I was like, I could never be more fulfilled in my entire life to be drinking a hot, warm butterbeer mug in little cold ass fucking, colder than a witch's titty in a brass bra, Harry Potter World right now. And it was just like, I was living, and they're saying that we need to give ourselves a dose of that some kind of way, whatever that is to you, If a warm embrace feels like going up to someone that's a loved one and literally giving them like a chest to chest, heart to heart hug and staying there for several minutes and breathing into it, do that. If it's a silly little mug of butterbeer, do that. If it, whatever it is, give that to you. They're trying to provide us with the time and the opportunity to give that to ourselves, because it seems like we're all in need of some sort of a spiritual warm embrace of sorts, that collectively we're kind of at this like, whew, damn, kind of a moment where it's almost like, all right, you ran a marathon, you did good, and now it's time to crumple. Don't y'all like to crumple after a marathon? Shit, I can't run a quarter of a mile unless somebody's chasing me to save my soul. And even then I might give up and just say, I'm sorry, just make it quick. Because no, I don't run. But they're like, we all need to have that like, just falling into rest type of moment. And they're like, let's give that to ourselves. Let's find ways to bring that to ourselves, because it seems like collectively we need that. So, good idea, Stacy Lee 143. Good idea. Thank you for bringing that up so that we could do that here together. I find that to be helpful, because I find that to be true for me. And for me, things that make me feel better, it does usually have something to do with food. So I probably will try to find something that I'm like, and not like comfort food as in it does bad to my body, but like something that's comforting, but is also doing my body some good. I'm going to do that for myself after this. Hello, Witch of the Wildwoods. Thank you for joining. Sugar Sean, it's a buggy. Girl, you're South Carolina though, so of course we see eye to eye that it's a buggy. Of course we see eye to eye that it's a buggy. We're like this, okay? Everybody listen to Sugar Sean. She's the one with some sense. Gene XO, it's okay, I'm in the South too. Buggy/cart, use them both. I do not use them both. I use buggy and only buggy. Buggy is the only right answer here. Katie Sue 72, hello. They're closing down all the damn Piggly Wigglies in the South. I don't know if they do still have some up. There's one literally like a mile from my house. It's closed down. It used to be there. Man, hate to say it, but that's okay with me, because as much as it's nostalgic to hear the name Piggly Wiggly, like every time I'd go into one, didn't matter where it was, it always smelled like the morgue. I hate to say it, that's disgusting, I get it, I'm sorry, but it did. It always smelled like the fucking morgue. And no, let me say it to you in Spanish, no. Sugar Sean's got 3. Does it smell like the fucking morgue in there to you? I'm telling you, that's what it smells like to me. Any location. Tell me if yours do. There we go, Gene XO. I mod for 30 channels on YouTube and TikTok. There we go. I was like, you don't have to do all that. And you're probably like, listen, this is just what I do. It feels more natural to me to just do it than to not do it. Because sometimes some people are like that. Some people are like, I know that to some people it's work and some people wouldn't want to. But for me, it's just so second nature that it would bother me more not to do it. So I'd just rather do it. And if that's the case with you, Gene XO, totally fine with that. Totally understand. I'm just letting you know you don't have to. It's okay, you don't have to. Let's see. That is a lot of channels. Damn, I don't even watch 30 channels. Shit, Oceana Song mods for 6. I don't even know if I watch 6 channels. Not regularly. Damn. I mean, that's awesome. I'm not saying that in a shameful way. I'm saying that in a like, what do I do with my day? Like, what am I doing? Am I losing time? Like, damn. You're just like, so productive. I want to be a part of that life, Gene XO and Oceana Song. I want to be a part of that life. Ah, Blake Tisdale! Woohoo! 7 months. Guess I just need to get out of my head and be grateful for how far I've come in 2 years. Got a warm feeling during mine. Good. I'm glad you got a warm feeling during your reading. And, you know, it's understandable to be up in our heads. I spend most of my time up there. Again, I'm OCD. I get stuck in a loop. I literally get stuck in a loop. I can't tell you how many times a day I get stuck in a loop, and it annoys the ever-living shit out of me, and I get so distraught about it. So I feel you. I get it. Easier said than done, for sure, for sure. Just hoping that there's any kind of nuggets or anything that we've talked about today that can kind of help you with that, because I know saying it is one thing, but then getting support to do it is another, and I get that. Yeah, you said 7 months, but it's actually 9 months. Yeah. Thank you for being a member. Okay. Bruiser writes, do you think your guides know each of us in the chat, or do they only notice us when we're asking for helps? I think that the way I see it is, you know, they have no limitations to knowing everything at all times. Like, there's no limitations when you're out of a body kind of thing. So I imagine they know it all at all times, and they share what they feel like is important to share or necessary to share or what they're allowed to share. But I would imagine, yeah, that they do. Which of the Wildwood? Oh, I'm just watching in the background. It's been a while, but my private reading with B was the best. Aw, you won your private reading. I remember it was like a channel giveaway, and you won a private reading. I remember that. I had a great time. Ah, the chat skipped again. I'm going. I'm trying not to go slow. I'm trying not to go slow. Trying to keep up with this. Okay, so. Alice Hernandez, hello, hello. Awesome. Cat, hello. It's just so simple. Cat, hello. Rosie's like, yes, ENFJ and Mama in the house. Love it. Love it and love y'all. Yeah, GeneXO YouTube has been awful with the notifications. Awful. Yes, I agree. You haven't received any in over a year? Oh my gosh. What the hell? Aw, Cat. You've been crying. Crying all day. That's so crazy. Yeah, see? The guides know what we need. I'm so sorry that you've been going through that. I cried today, too. I was writing a comment, and it brought up Daddy, and I cried. I'm only reading this out now because we brought it up. I'm not trying to make other people cry, and you probably won't, because it's not your daddy that died. It's my daddy that died. And I probably won't cry when I'm reading it back, but I'm just saying I had a fucking moment. Today, where's it at? Okay, so today I had written a post about how there was a sweet thing, a nice thing that happened this morning where once a week, and I shit you not, once a week I do seniors yoga, as in I go to a yoga class for seniors because they let me in. Even if I'm not a senior citizen, they let me in, but I go to a yoga class for seniors because it feels to me less like fitness and more like physical therapy, because there's a lot of deep stretching and kind of, you know, opening up your hip flexors and all this kind of stuff, you know, things that are about mobility and strength and balance, which all yoga is about. But some yoga is a little bit more fast-paced, fitness, break a sweat type of thing, and this is not. And so I do it once a week. It's a little senior yoga. It's a class that's free with my gym. So I go to that. And at yoga this morning, this was a sweet thing, that the teacher started doing stuff where we needed to have use straps for it. It was like these leg stretches where we had to like stick our legs all out like this, and we had to hook the strap. Oh, you see the dirty bottom of my shoe. But we had to hook the strap to the bottom of our foot and like pull it a certain way or whatever kind of thing to be stretching certain parts in our hips. And I didn't have a strap, and I didn't know that there were straps in the classroom somewhere. I didn't know that. And so I was trying my best to do it with my hands because I didn't have a strap. And a woman that must have been on a yoga mat behind me gets up, she walks to a container in the corner of the room, and she was getting herself a strap. And so I was thinking, oh, she's getting herself a strap, so there's straps over there. Okay. And I was just making a mental note. But as she was walking back to her mat past me, she dropped a strap right next to me and then kept walking, still holding a strap. And I realized she got up because she didn't have a strap, and she noticed I didn't either, and she got 2 straps and gave me one and took hers back to her mat. And like, that's such a small gesture, but I don't know who she is. She's a stranger. I've never met her before. She owes me nothing. She didn't have to take notice of me struggling, and she didn't have to get me a strap, you know, but she did. And it was just such a small gesture, but it was just so thoughtful and considerate and kind that it blew my little baby mind this morning. And I was just like, you know, like, the simple things can be so profound, and it just like made my whole fucking morning. And I sat there and I was thinking about it. And of course, when class was over, I went and grabbed her strap and said, thank you, I'll take both of these back. And so I took both of our straps back for us so that I could thank her, and kind of, you know, do some payback there. But it reminded me, when she did that, it reminded me of how my daddy was so good at that my daddy was one of those people that just, to perfect strangers every day, and I mean every single day, to perfect strangers, he was always doing things like that. Small little things repeatedly throughout the day to people he had never seen before, heard of before, ever met before, always. And that's one of the things that I will remember the most about him. And I was just thinking, like, you know, when he died, I remember that being one of the things that I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do that too. I'm gonna be like daddy with that. I'm gonna be the one that does little things to strangers. I'm going to be the one that's extra pleasant to them, or extra thoughtful to them, or extra considerate, or, you know, I'm going to be the one that puts that off to the world. I want people, when they think of me, to think of me as someone that's like that, like how he was. And so I was thinking that, and I was saying that, and a friend of his commented on that and said, I can remember on many occasions that as a group, us fellow hunters would go get breakfast at a local restaurant, and your wonderful father would leave the table on the pretense of going to the bathroom and would pay for everyone's meal. Such a kind and thoughtful man. And I thought that was so sweet for him to share, because when you hear of people doing that, you think, oh, it's because they were loaded, they were rich, they were able to do that. Me, with a measly, psych degree right out of undergrad before I went to grad school, the money I made from that job was more money than my daddy ever made in his life. My daddy was a janitor. My daddy was a maintenance supervisor. My daddy worked as a shop teacher at a school for a long time. He was like one of the only white teachers working at a mostly black school, because he wanted to work there and give his time there, because a lot of times you get shitty teachers at places like that. Not trying to, be mean, but it's true that there are inequities that happen, especially in school systems and things like that disproportionately affect people of color. And he was working as a shop teacher there and trying to, be helpful and contribute to a good space. And he did that for a long time. And then he was a bus driver and drove Big Yella for people to go to and from school. And then he became a janitor at the Department of Mental Health and started working until he moved up from the janitor position because he got his GED. He didn't graduate from high school. He later got his GED. And then he started working as the maintenance supervisor. So he got to supervise all of the maintenance folks. So you can guess what that blue collar salary was like. This man was not made of money, but he made a point to do these things where he would get up from the table pretending like he was going to go to the bathroom, and instead he'd pay for everyone's meal. And so I was talking to the man who wrote that and, thanking him for sharing that. And I said, yeah, Mama used to get mad at him for fighting people for the check. She used to say, let people pay for their own food, or let people pay for you for lunch, and stuff like that. But he was just, a giving person like that. And I said, he always found his go-to ways of sharing the love. And he would stick with those ways that he would find. And I wrote that one of his ways was that he would somehow find tiny toy animals. I mean, baby little toy animals, little figurines that were like an inch big, baby toy animals, that cost like a penny at the store or something, or a dime nowadays at the store. And he would bring them home for me and Alma. And I just started carrying them in my purse, and I'd have a little puppy and a little buffalo and a little, whatever, all these little toy, tiny little animals just floating around at the bottom of my purse because Daddy would bring them home. And I, those were things that we had since we were kids, and he would just bring them home every once in a while. And it was just a way to share love, just a tiny little thing like that. And okay, here I go. Sorry. I did so good. I swallowed it back several times. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do this right now. I'm sorry. But I'm going to make this quick, and then I'm going to move on, okay? I don't want to make anybody uncomfortable, okay? But I told him how, because of that, how my daddy loves chickens. You've seen the B-rolls where we have chickens at my parents' house because he loved his chickens. So you've seen that. And so I remember when he was diagnosed with leukemia, I was like, I saw a little squishy chicken, a tiny little squishy chicken, and I'm like, ooh, I want to get that for Daddy. I'm going to get him the tiny squishy chicken because it reminds me of him getting us the little toys. So I remember I got him a little squishy chicken, and I gave it to him, and the very next day, I gave it to him, and he liked it, and he was squishing on it, and the very next day, he got taken to the hospital, and he didn't come back from the hospital. That's where he passed away. And so the day of his funeral, I was driving to the funeral, and then I was like, the chicken, the chicken. And so I drove past the funeral to my parents' house, grabbed the little chickie off of his side table, and I brought it to the funeral, and I wanted to put it in the casket with him, and I couldn't bring myself to do it, so I begged Alma to do it. So Alma got up, and she tucked it under his hand in the casket, the little chickie, and so we buried him with his chickie. And so I was crying about that today because that came up, and it all came up from a very sweet thing that somebody did at yoga. So anywho, let me just dry it up a bit. I know it's okay to cry and stuff. It's just that I don't want to cry right now, first of all, because I've already cried about this today. Second of all, I'm wearing falsies, and they're going to peel right the fuck off. Third of all, this has been a very, very fun, live stream for an hour and 42 minutes now. And I don't want to mess up the tone that I had. Oh shit, this was a napkin that I had actually written some work notes on. As if I don't have 8,000 post-it notes over here. I have thousands of well, maybe not thousands, maybe hundreds. I don't know. I've got a lot of post-it notes from you very special people out there who have sent them to my P.O. box. And so I've got all these post-it notes, and still somehow I wrote these work notes on a fucking napkin that I am now using to put in my eyes. So I didn't want to do that to y'all. I'm sorry, but anyway, long story long, because I didn't make that short. Cat, I feel you. Okay, so let me kind of get my grips. Let me get my grips and move down the chat. I apologize. Thank you for being here. It happens. But that's what all that made me think about today. So anyway, let's see. So Lindsay S, hello, and welcome. I'm sorry that you came in at that time, so I'm sorry that you came in at that time, but thank you for being here. Let's see. Bruiser Bite says Mercury retrograde and all the horrible, sad things happening in the world don't help. Exactly. It's a lot going on. And yeah, Mercury retrograde. Yeah, fun. Goodness. Yeah, a lot of people were like, yeah, the collective read about how we all need some of that warmth, that that hug, that something. Totally get that. I understand why that came up. That's why it was such a great idea that Stacy Lee 143 had. Maya Andrew, hello, and thank you for being here. Let's see. Oh, shit. The chat skipped again. It's because I'm doing too much. Okay. Shit. Let me find. Where am I at? Where am I at? Okay. Where am I at? I'm like, where am I at? Okay. I'm sorry the chat skips whenever I take too long to like go through. And so that happened. So I see a little pig emoji from GeneXO. That must have been back when we were talking about Piggly Wiggly and what I said it smelled like in there. To me, in my opinion. GeneXO says, I love the pig. My niece calls it the Wiggly Piggly. They don't smell like a morgue here. Maybe you don't live in South Carolina. We got some busted ass shit here. Oh, man. Olivia T, hello. Thank you for being here. Very much appreciate it. Aw, Sweet Harmony. Sweet Harmony said, my reading with B was truly life-changing. Don't make me cry again, girl. Don't make me cry again. Let's see. Yeah, GX says, like, a lot of times I don't even notice that I became one. Is there even a way that I do that? Do I even do that here? Let me see. I think you're a moderator now, GX. It doesn't mean you have to. It just means that since you already naturally do it, I want you to at least have the ability to, like, kick a troll out if somebody's being a total asshat or something like that. Like, I want you to have the power and ability to do that and not be like, all I can tell them is to be nice, guys. So I just, this does not come, anybody who's a mod here, that does not come with a you must do XYZ, especially because we have such a great community of people here. We don't usually have problems. It just comes with I want you to feel like you have the power to, should you want to, XYZ. So, think of it that way. Let's see. Aw, Stacy Lee 143. Your mood could go from blah to smiley and feeling better after watching one of my videos. Are you fucking serious? How is that possible? Oh, that's so sweet. As I sat there and, trauma cried on y'all and then pushed my mouth out just like that. I'm sorry. Karen D didn't get a notification either, and you watch every video? What the hell, YouTube? Dropping the ball 8,000 times. Everything is like 8,000 times, 800, 8 million, 8 bazillion. I don't know why I ate everything. And I do eat everything too, so that actually, well, okay. I'm going to read now so I can catch up. Ah, man. Bruiser Bites, you said why is it that we still cry? My dad died in 2018, and every time I think of him, I burst into tears. I have tears running down my face now. Is this still grief? I'd say yeah. It happens. It happens. Grief isn't, I mean, as you well know, it's not a one and done. It's an iterative process, and it's like, somebody said this, and I don't remember who on this channel, and so I don't know who to credit because I can't remember who said it, but somebody was saying that grief is a lot like, being on a boat in the ocean in the middle of a storm, and at first it's like this and whatever, and the waves are crashing and it's too much, and then as the storm gets further and further away, the waves still come and they still crash, but it's fewer and further between, and the height of the waves aren't so big, and so it's like, yeah, we'll still have waves crash, but they might be spread out more, and they might not be as big of a crash. But the storms still come and the waves still come, and they will always. I don't think that we ever truly get over people that are that important, And, I had already lost my grandma, and out of all my grandparents, I only ever really had one grandparent, my grandma, my nanny, because my parents were in their 40s when they got pregnant with me and Alma, and so that means that my grandparents were already in their 60s or older when I was born, and so both of my granddads were dead when I was born. One of them passed away 14 days before I was born, so I just missed him, or he just missed me, whichever way you want to look at that. And so I never had grandpas growing up, and I had one grandma that died when I was in kindergarten, so I barely remember her. She's the one I'm named after, Lucille. So all I had was my nanny growing up, who died in 2010, whenever I was, kind of fresh out of grad school and stuff like that. And I went through her dying, and it was really, really hard, and it brought a lot of waves and stuff, but it's not the same as losing Daddy. It's as much as I loved her, and as long as I loved her, and as much as a second mother she was to me, it's not the same as losing Daddy. Daddy was, everybody, or most people, I guess, have at least one person in their life that they're like, this one person is everything, and they're not allowed to die. This one person, and he was my person. He was the one that, even as, like I've said on my videos, even as a 5-6-year-old girl, that's when I first started having panic attacks, is when I was a kid in my bed thinking, one day Daddy's gonna die, oh no, one day Daddy's gonna die, oh no, oh no, oh no, and I'm like, and I'd get into a panic attack about it, and I'd have to get calmed down, and that carried through my entire life. I never stopped having panic attacks about him dying one day. And then, so when it happened, it's like, fuck, so no, I'll never get over it. And I think that it's unrealistic to expect that of people. I think that that's kind of a misnomer about grief, that we want to put things in a box and tell people that oh, you got to get over it, else you're not healed. You can work on healing your whole life and still be fucking devastated about a loss, and still have it kind of upsurge you every once in a while, so that is way more common and normal and typical than people will let you know. And I think people should devote more energy and communication to that. I think. Okay. All right. Let's see. Alrighty. Thank you, GeneXO. Let's see. Oceana Song says there's a deer eating right outside of your window. Fucking awesome. Man, these are times that I wish that they would allow us to put pictures in the chat, even if I know people could really spam that and, we'd get dick picked all to hell. But I love that. I'd like to see the little deer eating outside of your window. That's awesome. You make it worth it. Hello. Want to get to say hello to you. And KR, hello to you. Oh shit, the chat jumped again because I'm taking forever to get through them, and I'm trying. I think I'm getting caught up. I'm getting close to getting caught up. Yeah, Emily Voldeck says, B, this isn't a mistake or something you say sorry for. That Knight of Cups goes for you as well. We love you, mean it, and here for you like you are for us. Yeah, and that's when I do the Perk Squad. Okay, mind mouth, same speed. Fuck. When I do the weekly forecast readings for the Perk Squad every week, that's why when I'm writing it, I say we this, we that, because I know whatever it is they're saying for the week goes for me too. It isn't a, hey y'all, I am telling you, this is your forecast for the week. This is what you have to expect, mere mortals. It's like, I am also a mere mortal. So shit, this reading applies to me too. And so, yeah. Oh, man. Oracle Persephone, hello. Greetings back to you. Let's see. Dana says, thanks for talking about grief. I've lost all the important people in my life. It's tough. And people are like, well, it's time to move on. And yeah, life does go on, and we do move on, but we move on with our grief and loss. We don't move on and leave it in the past. It's with us. It travels through the rest of our lives with us. And that's why, there's some people, like my cousin, bless his soul, him and his wife gave birth to a baby who was stillborn, and they talk about him, and they speak his name, and they talk about how perfect he was, even if he was born without life. And they're like, I don't want people to be like, oh, I don't want to, feel weird or hurt their feelings or bring up things that bother them, so I'm just not going to talk about it. They're like, no, because then you're erasing our son who is perfect. He's still our son, and he's perfect, and we want to talk about him. And so they took pictures holding him, and they have those pictures up in their home because he is their son, and he was still part of their life for, 9 months gestationally. And, there'll be people out there that thinks that's weird, and that's okay. That just means you're uncomfortable about it. And that gives us a moment to say, where's that discomfort coming from? Why does that make me uncomfortable? What does that say about, my relationship to love, life, and death? And what does that say to my relationship with grief? And so we challenge ourselves to find ways to be comfortable with discomfort. And it sucks and it's hard. But it's important. So thank you for saying that. And I agree with Gene XO. I hope new important people enter your life. Absolutely. I agree. And I do too. Aww. Oh, she had a song sent a little deer. Karen D, my husband just asked recently why I wasn't over a loss yet. People ask that, and it's because they don't know any better. They don't know any better because either they've never experienced that deep of a loss before themselves, or they have, and it's so painful that they've closed it off completely and don't allow themselves access to those feelings to the point that they don't even think they have those feelings. Like, no, I feel fine. It's okay. I get it. We lost them, but we move on, and it's fine. And it's like, guaranteed somewhere in that body of yours it's not fine, but you cut off access to that so you don't even know. And that shit will come out another way. That shit will come out another way. The body keeps score. So, it's tough. It's tough. Exactly, Gene XO. How do you let go of people who've made such a huge impact on your life? It's never the same without them, but you keep going and you show you've learned from once having them in your life. Yeah, they stay apart. They stay apart. Absolutely. Absolutely. Ogre Girl says, have you noticed yourself doing things that he did that you were annoyed with before? I just realized that to make that positive traits instead of negative ones is active remembrance or activities or ritual. Exactly. And I think that's a really good point you bring up, because my dad had traits of OCD. He never had full-blown OCD like I do, but he had traits of it, and sometimes these things are a bit hereditary and passed down. And my mom's side of the family had depression. My dad's side of the family had anxiety and OCD traits. So I've got all of those and the trichotillomania that manifested from that. And so I find myself sometimes loving my OCD, like not loving it as in feeling good about it when I'm doing it because it sucks and it feels horrible, but loving it as in having some sort of warm and fuzzy around it because it's connected to daddy. So it's like having a little bit of more acceptance and patience with it, and more like, loving empathy with myself around it because it's connected to him. So yeah, I do notice stuff like that, and I think that's awesome. 606. Man, I've been live for literally 2 hours. I'm gonna have to wind this down, or else it's gonna be too long for anybody to ever watch a replay. Feel ya, Evie Mendez. I feel ya. Wow. People are sharing such powerful things right now, and I think that that's important and that's wonderful. And I feel bad that, it's like we've been live for 2 hours and we need to wrap it down, because I don't want to, wind it down while y'all are sharing such powerful and important things. I don't mean to cut people off. It's just been a long time, and I know I need to, walk out, shake it off, give my body a bit of a break, give y'all's bodies a bit of a break, especially those of you who have been here in the long haul with me today. Looking at you, Gene XO, and folks like that. And so, not trying to cut y'all off, but definitely know that it's time that we wind this down a bit and head on out, and so that it won't be too long, so that people who didn't catch the live will feel like they can watch it back. But yes, absolutely, and thank y'all for sharing these things. Evie Mendez sharing about her grandma, Emily Voldock sharing about her mom, and Blake sharing about his family's nanny. Yeah. So I feel y'all, and I'm so glad that y'all were here today, and so glad that we got to do mini readings. There might be some kind of a way that I can repackage that. I might try, because I know sometimes people are like, whoa, that live was 2 hours long. I'm definitely not going to be able to watch that. And so they don't, which totally understandable. I wouldn't be able to watch a 2 hour live back. I wouldn't. And so sometimes I'll break things up and just repost segments. So I might try to do that. I might, post the segment here that we talked about grief and put that up. I might post the segment here where we did mini readings and put that up for people to get some clarity on. I might, take segments of this stuff and post segments. So I'll see. I don't know for sure if I'll do that, but I might do that. Just to have some little shorter versions, if I have the time to kind of make that happen. And if not, then, understandable, whatever people will be able to watch and not watch. So totally get that. But yeah, thank y'all for being here and seeing all of y'all saying your thank yous and y'all's love you mean it's and all of that kind of stuff. And so really happy to have y'all here and appreciate y'all. When I say love you mean it, it's because I fucking love you mean it. And so I hope you know that that's true. And big hugs to all of y'all. So happy that y'all made it here. So happy that we were able to do this. And excited to be able to do another live with y'all sometime in the future. And I'm going to have to plan some more videos coming up here. So yeah. There's a lot in order here. There's a lot to do here that I'm going to try to get out there for you. So, anywho, thank y'all. And I hope that y'all have a great rest of your night, rest of your morning, wherever you are in the world. And don't